चिन्तया जायते दुःखम् नान्यते हेति निश्चयी तया हीनः सुखी शान्तः सर्वत्र गलितस्पृहः. Chintaya, through chinta. Chinta is worry, anxiety, fear, any problem, chinta, worry. When there is anxiety, you worry. Anxiety means worry, fear is worry, pain is worry, uncertainty is worry. Worry is chinta. In English, it's worry. It's a word comprehensive of all problems. Chintaya jayate dukkham. Worrying is painful. Worry is a word synonymous with pain, ji. Worry is pain. And in old age, you only worry because you can't do anything else. Vriddhastavat chinta sakta. In old age, you worry. Therefore, they mandate in old age you better study Vedanta, otherwise you will be worrying. Even though Vedanta is a need for the children, need for the teenagers, need for every living being. Self-understanding is a need for everyone. But yet, for old people it's a mandate. See? It is their need also, but it's a mandate because otherwise they will sit and worry. First you worry to earn, then you worry about what you have earned. You see? In the beginning of life I worry about the future, and later on I worry about the past. Chintaya jayate dukkham. See, here chinta should be understood very deeply, meaning the worry which is caused by jivatvam, individuality. There are topical reasons for worry, but all the topical reasons have their roots in the fundamental reason. The topical is a symptom of the fundamental. Symptoms are only the symptoms of a sickness within. Like a boils on the skin are symptoms of some problem, some blood infection inside. Similarly, all the topical problems are the symptoms of the fundamental sickness called self-ignorance. Therefore, don't underestimate, don't look at any problem unconnected to the basic problem called ignorance. Connect every problem to the fundamental problem called the self-ignorance, self-embodiment. Now, embodiment is not some kind of a topical problem. Just because it is perceived, it's felt, it's not topical. It is the truth identifying itself with some form is called embodiment, is called a life. So the worry must be understood as rooted in the fundamental problem called Self-ignorance. Chintaya jayate dukkham. Na anyatha. There is no other way. There is no other reason for dukkham. In the truth, if the universe appears, it can only appear as an appearance in the truth, as a distortion, as a perception. When you close your eyes and go to sleep, and if you perceive, if there is a world in you, it is in you, not outside you, please. That is the gap that should be bridged in life. You don't see dream outside you, you see dream inside you. All perceptions are within oneself. So you perceive a dream within you, it's a peaceful you, and suddenly you see a dream. And that a dream cannot be anything other than just a perception. It cannot be an event. But even event is a perception, ji. Processes are perceptions. And perception is an error. And error is in the form of a perception. No, there cannot be an error without being a perception. Every error is in the form of erroneous perception, and every perception is erroneous perception about the truth. Sometimes we have this problem, A cow has 4 legs, but all that has 4 legs need not be a cow. Not that kind of thing. But here it is different. Every perception is an error. And every error is in the form of a perception. And therefore, just as dream is a perception in oneself. I am not seeing dream outside me. I am seeing dream inside me. And similarly, the waking also is seen within oneself, please. Like in the deep sleep state, there is nothing except you, the absolute you. There is only absolute you, the unlimited you. Within the unlimited you, you open your eyes. That's called the waking state. That means the waking state also is seen within oneself. This is a huge gap to be bridged. Bridging which you are a different person. You are not seeing anything outside you. You don't entertain thoughts outside you, entertain thoughts within you. Perceptions take place within you. Emotions take place within you. And they can never be your attributes. Had they been your attributes, you don't have to entertain them. If a thought is my attribute, I don't have to create it. I don't have to entertain it. A tree doesn't have to entertain greenness. It is already there. A blue lily doesn't have to entertain blueness. It is already there. And therefore, please, all perceptions are within oneself. We see the dream within ourselves. We see the waking also within ourselves. And what is seen within ourselves, it is a perception in me, about me. Because perception must have a locus. Where there is perception is about what? The mirage is a perception in me about the sand. The snake is a perception in me about the rope. The dream is a perception in me about me. The waking is a perception in the self, about the self. And if it is there in me and about me, it is a distorted perception. Why? Because by nature one is the being. It's neither the perceived nor the individual perceiver. Atma is neither an individual perceiver nor perceived. Perceiver, perceivedness is an error about the being. Our existence is distorted as a perceiver and also perceived. I perceive myself. I stand as perceiver and I stand as also perceived, distorted. Therefore, the entire dukkham, human worry, human pain, human struggle, and everything is rooted in the fundamental problem of self-ignorance. And it's not enough to live topically a very big standard of life. It's not enough to live a standard of life, to increase one's standard of living. Because whatever be the standard of your living, as long as the fundamental problem is not looked at, as long as the basic reason is not understood, whatever be the standard of your living, you will be worrying. One may sit in a hut and worry. Nepalese worry, Bangladeshis worry, Indians worry, Pakistanis worry, Americans also worry, and even gods worry. Worry is not topical. It is a symptom of the fundamental problem. Dukkham is not a topical problem. If the dukkham were a topical problem, there would have been a topical remedy for it. And if there were a topical remedy for dukkham, humanity would definitely have stumbled on it sometime before, sometime or the other. But in the entire history of humanity, the humanity has not stumbled upon the remedy for dukkham. That means there is no remedy for dukkham in this world. There is no remedy for the fear of death. There is no remedy for the fear of losing the past, losing all that I own. The fear of losing my near and dear ones. The fear of losing my existence. The fear of losing my property, my wealth, my comfort, my chayan. The fear of losing is not a topical problem. And there is no remedy for that fear. Therefore, chintaya jayate dukkham na anyatha. This is dukkham is born of chinta, worry, and worry is rooted in self-ignorance. Na anyatha yaha iti nishchay, aisa jo nishchay karta hai. The one who is clear about the roots of worry, that's the one who is clear about the roots of worry. The one who is clear about the roots of sense of limitation, the roots of limitation, the roots of fear, the roots of greed, the roots of jealousy, the roots of every imperfection. The one who is clear about the roots of the imperfection, taya hinaha, such a person becomes free from the worry. Why? Because he looks for the root. And the root is self-ignorance, and he looks at the truth himself. Taya hinaha sukhi shantaha. Having understood the root of the worry, having understood the root of the worry, that is self-ignorance, and he becomes free from dukkham, then he becomes sukhi, he is peaceful, shanta, is peaceful, sarvatra galita spriha, and at no time, at no place, in no situation, he has cravings, because he is like when you are asleep, whether you are sleeping in a shop or in a sweet shop or sleeping in Reserve Bank, you have no desire. In sleep you have no desire for money in Reserve Bank. You are asleep in Reserve Bank, but you have no craving for money there. You are sleeping in a sweet shop, you have no desire to eat. You are sleeping in the same room as Rambha and Urvashi, but you have no desire for Rambha and Urvashi. I am telling you, truth doesn't allow any desire. Truth is the desire is what whips the world, drives the whole world. Desire drives the world. Do you think that desire, which they call very nicely, it is an incentive for activity, etc. I say it's not an incentive for activity, you may use that word, but this is what drives you. And in fact, it is the desire that drives you even mad. It drives you all over the world. It drives you, Do you think that kind of a desire which drives the whole society, human society, which drives the whole divine, that is celestial society. In fact, it is the desire that drives animal world also. They also have desire to survive. That is also desire to survive also is a desire. Desire drives you. Do you think that a desire has a topical remedy? A desire that drives the entire society, do you think that desire is going to have a topical remedy? No, it doesn't have a topical remedy. It is the answer to that remedy is only the truth. Therefore, it is the truth. With clarity about the truth, you are comfortable, you are peaceful, and you are free from cravings. In every situation, at every time, in every place. And for that I have given you the example. Wherever you sleep, you may sleep in a bank, you have no desire for money. Because sleep is a very casual term for oneness. Where the thought mind resolves, where perception resolves. In fact, it resolves where it takes place. Tanishthasya mokshopadeshat. Bhagavan Vedavyasa says, the very source of the perception is the laya. Is the layasthanam. Srishtisthanam is layasthanam. So you can reflect on this. Your perceptions, the srishtisthanam of your perceptions is yourself. The srishtisthanam of your dream is yourself. The layasthanam of your dream is yourself. Your perceptions stem from you. They resolve in you. This is a huge gap to be bridged by man. Because he always thinks of seeing things external. Externality is a huge problem with man. Therefore, Vedanta doesn't seem to work. Because I must be clear about the alphabet of Vedanta. The alphabet of Vedanta is this. Perceptions stem from oneself, they resolve in oneself. The dream stems in oneself, resolves in oneself. And that self is not an individual, is not a limited self. Why? Even the sense of limitation stems in oneself. Stems in oneself, from oneself, and resolves in oneself. Other than the unlimited, everything else is a perception, thought. And therefore, Bhagavan says, don't underestimate the power of worry. Don't look for Ayurvedic pudiyas for worry, please. You can't be free from worry. You can't be free from attachments. It's meaningless. You can't give an advice. In fact, therefore, the best advice you can give to anybody is go into Vedanta. If you can't go into Vedanta, it's okay, but at least be clear that you need that. That is the answer. If you can't go for it, that's okay. That is the answer. Swamiji, I can't eat less. But that is the answer. Eating less is there. But it's very difficult for me to eat less. That is okay. That is up to you. But my answer is that is the answer. Similarly, if you can't study Vedanta, that is okay. But Vedanta is the answer. Very clear understanding about the existence. Naham deho na me dehi. Naham deho na me dehaham. Bodhohamiti nishchayi. Kaivalyamiva sampraptaha. Na smarati akritam kritam. Naham dehaha. I am not a deha. See, that I am deha is a perception. Naham dehaha is not another perception. That is a fact. Perception doesn't have the opposite. I am deha is a perception, I am not deha is another perception, don't say that. Freedom from deha is a fact. It is a wave is a perception. It's not a wave means it is water. It is not wave means it is water. It is water is not a perception, it's a fact. Therefore, naham deha. Dehoham is perception, freedom from deha is presence of the unlimited. The presence of oneself as free from the body is called naham deha. Naham deha is a teaching. Naham deha is what is called neti neti. It is called a corrective teaching. Sir, I am not deha. Why? Dehoham is a anadi adhyasa. Anadi adhyasa means is a timeless perception. What do you mean by timeless perception? It's a perception, you can't trace it to time. That is the only meaning, please. Timeless perception means you can't trace it to time. Because this perception, dehoham, includes time. It includes the entire universe. It includes time, space, and everything. And therefore, it's not a time-bound perception. It is timeless. In fact, every perception is timeless. Because every perception includes the perception of time. This is another secret. Even perception of an object. Through illusion I put it, I am seeing the pot in time. I say I put the pot at a point in space. I put the pot at a point in time. Even though I call it time bound, it's in time. But let me tell you, every perception is timeless. Because when I perceive the pot, I am perceiving the space also along with it. I am perceiving the time also. Therefore, space and time are inseparable from the perception. Therefore, no perception is in time. Every perception is timeless. That way, Dehoham also is timeless. Therefore, Jagat, the perception of the universe is anadi. The perception of even an object is anadi. Perception of an object is also perception. Perception of an object is also perception of the universe. The perception of myself as an individual, in fact, perception of any bit of the creation amounts to perception of the universe. Perception of even a stripe on the snake, even one stripe on the snake amounts to seeing the snake. And even a bit of mirage means seeing the mirage. Thus, in my view, every perception is anadi. Adhyasa is anadi. Dehoham is anadi. Perception of the universe is anadi. And even perception of pain also is anadi. Even though we divide sadi, anadi, individual objects are sadi, where seeing the universe is anadi, even though we, for little children, we divide all this. Because divisions, subdivisions, interest, because they are there, they are available for memorization. Because if you give a teaching that is available for memorization, children are very happy. And there are Vedanta studying children also. For the sake of those children, we divide, subdivide. But otherwise, if they are not children, I say every perception is anadi. Every perception is perception of the universe. I can't perceive a small grain of sand except I see myself as an individual. With a sense of reality, I can't perceive a sand of grain. And a sand of grain is a part of the universe. I can't see it as isolated from it. Therefore, every perception is, even dreaming a pebble is dream. There is no partial dream and the whole dream. Dream cannot be thought of in terms of the whole and the partial. Dream cannot be looked at in terms of the whole and the part. In fact, dream is always the whole era. Even if you dream a pebble, it is the whole era. It's an era. Even the idea of the whole and the part is dreamt. Therefore, naham deha, all these things you can think. Man is not deha. But then really he doesn't want to receive this teaching of Vedanta. Sir, you are not deha, because it's a very insipid thought. Because he gets all his pleasures through the body. He gets all his comfort through the body. And if you go, if he goes and tells his girlfriend, I am not the body, then she will run away. She falls in love with you only because, she thinks very seriously that you are the body. And if you go on repeating, I am not the body, I am not the body, he says, if you are not the body, then what am I going to do with you? Chodo. Therefore, life is spicy if I am the body. But man thinks the spices of life are greater than the truth, because he doesn't know anything else. Therefore, these small spices in life, he thinks he is really great. But the fulfillment of a desire is a spice. Freedom from desire is Shanti. One is a temporary spice, the other is an abiding peace. And the wisdom comes and plays the role, makes a choice. A wise man chooses freedom from craving. A man who has no wisdom chooses the spice. Therefore, man doesn't receive this teaching. He is not receptive to the Vedantic teaching that I am not Deha. Name Deha. Neither I am Deha nor is it mine. See, this is a very important thing. Neither it is me. Neither it is me means to be a form is not my identity. To be Deha is not my identity. Nor there is a relationship between the body and me. Neither there is equation nor relation. These two words you have to concentrate. There is no equation. This is me, that is called equation. This is mine, that is called relation. Between the self and a form, there is no equation, there is no relation. Ashtavakra is very intelligent. In my view, is very, very bright. He says, Naham dehaha, name dehaha. When he says name dehaha, he is brilliant. There is no equation, there is no relation. Truth has no equation with the form, nor relation with the form. Water has no equation with the wave, nor relationship with it. There is no other. If there is something else, I can equate with it. If there is something else, I can relate to it. Any kind of vyavahara is possible only when I am limited and when there is other. Naham dehaha name dehaha. Name dehaha. Bodhoham. I am indeed pure knowledge. Bodhoham. I am pure knowledge. You see, I have been using the term perception. Replace that word with knowledge. It is the same. I have knowledge of this object. I have knowledge. And the knowledge in the form of taking place, knowledge, boils down to the knowledge eternal. The knowledge, individual perception, individual piece of knowledge, what looks like an individual piece of knowledge, what looks like an individual piece of perception, knowledge, awareness, it boils down to being the eternal knowledge. Bodhoham. This is knowledge. Jagat is knowledge. It's my knowledge. It's my knowledge. Even the idea that I am an individual is my knowledge. That means the whole life is what? Jnanam. Knowledge. Because it appears in the truth, which is knowledge. Please understand, even mithya jnanam is jnanam. Even erroneous knowledge depends upon awareness, knowledge. Even the knowledge of the dream is knowledge. That knowledge is not dream. Bhashyakara says, dream is dreamt But the knowledge about the dream is not dreamt. The knowledge, avagati. My knowledge about the dream is not qualified by the dream. My knowledge about the dream is not qualified by the dream. My knowledge about a tree is not qualified by the tree. My knowledge about the world is not qualified by the world. Knowledge is not qualified by what looks like the object of knowledge. And you can continue thinking like that, just as an object is not an object of perception, it is perception. Similarly, an object of knowledge is not an object of knowledge, it is knowledge. It's knowledge. It's made of knowledge. Like wave is made of water, an object is made of knowledge. Iti nishchayi, aisa so nishchay karta hai. The one who is clear about is called, the one who determines is called nishchayi. Nishchaya means determination. Determination means the one who, clarity. Nishchayaha means clarity. Nirnayaha means निर्णय करना, निश्चय करना. ये रज्जु है, सर्प नहीं है, ऐसा निश्चय करना, ऐसा निर्णय करना. दिस इज कॉल्ड वस्तु निर्धारण करना, वस्तु निश्चय करना, वस्तु निर्णय करना. And the one who does it is called Nishchayi. The one who does the Nishchay, the one who is clear that neither I am Deha nor Deha is mine, but I am purely Jnana Swarupam. Kaivalyameva samprapta is non-dual. Kaivalyam means kevalasya bhavaha kaivalyam. He is as though non-dual. He is the non-dual. That Iva is as though he is non-dual. That Iva doesn't make any sense. Samprapta. Na smarati akritam kritam. He is free from all the memories of the past and the future. Na smarati, he doesn't remember. Akritam. He doesn't remember what was not done, omissions. And he doesn't remember the commissions to be done in the future. He doesn't remember what was omitted in the past. He doesn't think of what is to be done in future. That means he is free from kartritvam. Kartritvam, he is free from kartritvam. Akritam kritam. Therefore, reflect on this. Abrahmastamba paryantam ahame veti nishchayi nirvikalpa shuchishantaha prapta prapta vinirvritaham Abrahma stamba paryantam, the entire Abrahma, right from the creator to a plant. The entirety is shown like this. Because the creatorness is the one with which the creation begins. From Brahmaji to Brahma Pipilikantam, we say from Brahmaji to Pipilika, an ant, or from Brahmaji to a plant. This is a phrase to show the entirety of the creation. So this entire creation, whatever is objectified is creation. What is available for perception is a part of creation. What is available for inference is a part of creation. What is available for imagination is a part of creation. You can imagine certain things. Subjective imaginations also come under. You can imagine Devata in Ganga. An individual Devata is, if it is there, it's available as an object of. It's an object of belief anyway. Even an object of belief is within creation, is not the truth. It's a part of all the subjective creations are within the bigger creation, Ishvara Srishti. My subjective creation, my subjective imaginations, my subjective inferences, they're all within the creation. Subjectivity is within the creation. Therefore, Abrahma Stambha Paryantam should be taken as all that is available for perception is creation. All that is available for inference is a part of creation. All that is available for my subjective imagination is part of creation. All imaginations are a part of creation. See, the point that you have to grasp here in this context is human creations are within Ishvara Srishti. Human creation is not parallel to Ishvara Srishti. Jiva Srishti is not parallel to Ishvara Srishti. Because Jiva himself is a creation. Jivatvam is a creation. And all that the Jiva can do also is a part of, he has a potential to create. That potential to talk, the potential to think, the potential to do, that is a part of creation. Therefore, it is Ishvara Srishti. That means there is no Jiva Srishti. Even though we have the language in some of the tikas and tippanis, ye to Ishvara Srishti hai, ye to Jiva Srishti hai, etc. You see, understand, Jiva Srishti means subjective creation. All Jiva Srishti is subjective creation. It is not something pramanajanyam. Pramanajanya jnanam is different from subjective creation. You see the Ganga as water, that is pramanajanya jnanam. And you call it really, it is a devata, it is a subjective creation. Differentiate between the subjective and the actual. Pramana, pratyakshadi, pramana, janya jnanam is not subjective creation. If you see a plant, if you see a statue, Rama's statue, it is a statue. This is pramana, janya jnanam. But I look upon it as Rama. That is what? Subjective thinking. Subjective thinking also is called subjective creation. But when the Shabda says, when the Shastra says Bhagavan Ramji as Param Brahman is there in that statue as Adhishtanam, that is Swatah Siddham. That is Pramanajanya Jnanam. That is different. But as an individual, I look upon him as the statue as Rama. That is subjective. So please distinguish between Pramanajanya Jnanam and Purusha Tantra Vyapara. Purusha Tantra Vyapara is different from subjective creation, is different from Pramanajanya Jnanam. Valid knowledge. Subjective imagination is different from valid knowledge. If I see water through my eyes, through my touch and taste it, it is Pramanajanya Jnana, it is valid knowledge. And I look upon it as Devata, that is my subjective creation. So in prayers and worships, Purushotantra Vyapara plays a role. You cannot pray, you cannot worship without Purushotantra Vyapara. Even those who do not worship statue, the idols, etc., those who swear by formlessness, etc., they are also subjective. They are imagining some kind of God. Anyway, you think of God as other than you, that is subjective. Apart from being it's ignorant, it is born of ignorance. Sense of division is ignorance. But you are also being subjective. You are making an effort to think, no, it cannot be within, it is without, etc. There is subjective. In prayers and worships, subjective thinking is choiceless. You cannot be, if you are not subjective thinking, there is no prayer, please. Prayer is born of subjective thinking. Worship, all upasanas are Purushotantra Vyapara. Prayers are not Pramanajanya Jnanam. There is a sense of division. Okay, ji. Abrahma stamba paryantam eva iti nishchayi. Abrahma stamba paryantam ahameva. The entire creation is only me. Therefore, what looks like this is also aham. The water can say, what looks like this wave is also aham, the water. Aham. Every idam is non-separate from aham. The dream, the idam, is non-separate from aham. Therefore, the entire universe is what? Aham alone, the unlimited. Aham, the unlimited. Iti nishchayi, the one who does the nishchaya like this. Nirvikalpaha is free from all divisions because everything is aham. Shuchihi, and he is called purity. Shuchihi, he is free from being subject to become impure. He is not really freedom from being subject to become impure. He is indeed the real purity. Purity is not parallel to impurity. Purity is the underlying fact. It's not subject to become impurity. The rope is a fact which is not subject to become snake. Rope is a fact. Similarly, truth is not subject to become a form. Therefore, Shuchi, Shanta, and is peaceful. Prapta, Aprapta, Vinirvritaha. He has accomplished everything that is accomplished and also not yet accomplished. Prapta, Aprapta, Vinirvritaha. The one who has accomplished everything that is already accomplished and also not yet accomplished. Meaning what? He has got the yoga, he has got the kshema. Praptasya apraptasya praptihi is called yoga. Praptasya rakshanam is called kshemaha. But he has got both yoga and kshema. Because the unlosable truth is the yoga, unlosable truth is the kshema. Unlosable, unchangeable, untransformable, unlosable unlimitedness, unlosable unlimitedness, unlosable freedom from the deha, unlosable freedom from time, unlosable freedom from space is the yoga, his yoga and his kshema. The last verse you will see. Nanascharya midam vishwam kinchiditi nishchayi nirvasanaha spurti matraha na kinchiditi shamyati. Nanascharya-midam vishvam. This universe is full of wonders. Nana ascharya. Variegated wonder. This universe is, until if you don't look at it in the light of yourself, the universe is a wonder. What space, what oceans, what Taj Mahal, what Wall of China. They have only discovered 7 wonders. Here Ashtavakra says this universe is full of wonders and wonders, countless wonders. Gee, it's all wonders. In fact, this universe looks wondrous if you don't see its source. If you see its source, Ashtavakra says, he is very intelligent. Nanascharya-midam vishvam. Na kinchiditi nishya, but it's nothing. But it is nothing. Kuch bhi nahi hai. Because the real wonder is your existence. If you don't look at it correctly, it looks really astonishing. It is astounding. Until you understand, anything can astound you. Anything can astound you until you understand it. Even the higher mathematics can astound you. Algebra can astound you. But until you understand. But once I understand, तो कुछ भी नहीं है. Life also astonishes you. What is this? What could be this life? ये कहाँ से आया? ये law of karma क्या है? ईश्वर क्या? Man is all the time gaping. क्या जी? Think of the boundaries of space. Right now you can wonder. The boundaries of space, जी. है ही नहीं है. There are no boundaries of space. In fact, you can reach the boundary of space in not thinking, in being. In being, there is no space. In objectification, where the space ends, that is their boundary. Truth is the boundary of space. Because the space ends there. The boundaries of space are not out there. The boundaries of space are right here. Because space has no existence in its source. Are you able to follow? Therefore, until the world is understood, it stuns you, it astounds you, it intrigues you, creates doubts, etc. And man goes on living in perpetual wonder about the world. Some become poets about the world, some become scientists, some become writers. It's all nothing but triggered. Your inspiration is triggered by the sense of wonderment about the world. But the world understood it is nothing, because it is your being, it is your presence. Ocean is astounding space, because you look at it as the expanse, spatial expanse. But what is it? H2O, just one formula, one principle, just H2O water. This vast universe is your presence. It has no spatiality about it. Your existence has no spatial expanse. Like in sleep, please don't think of it as darkness, etc. It is your being. When you are quiet, you are being. That is the truth about you. You cannot be anything other than be. You cannot be. Remaining the being, you play the role of a seer, hearer, taster, toucher, smeller, thinker, rememberer, doer, enjoy. These are all errors about that very being. Therefore, Nanascharya Vishwam na kinchiditi nishche. The one who thinks this great universe is nothing. Nirvasanaha. And he is not really, he doesn't become bhavuk about the universe. He doesn't have cravings for the things. He is free from all emotions for the things. Nirvasanaha. Alright, if suppose somebody says, where from all the population comes? There is explosion of population. It is nothing. Aayenge jayenge ji. It is just out of the same being. Out in the same ocean there are some more waves ji. That need not intrigue you. ये तो होता है. उसमें क्या है? The principle doesn't change with the increase and decrease of data. With the increase and decrease of the waves, the principle doesn't change. There may be explosion of population, but still the principle is every living being is the truth. Truth perceived differently. Truth perceived differently. Same, it's like explosion of perceptions. Gee, it's nothing. And even the plurality is perception. Perceptions is also a perception. Nirvasanaha. Spurti matra. A man who understands this is only spurti matraha. Is only awareness. Spurti in Vyavahara means, agility, to be agile, to be full of life, to be activity, to be active, to be alive, free from being sluggish, etc. But a spurti wala hai. He gets up and then starts working. That is called spurti. He runs, spurti. And some people, acha, last night who won, ji? India. No, that's singing. You all saw that? I didn't see. Is it Anjali?
Anjali.
Wow. And Shreyan Bhattacharya. Shreyan Bhattacharya. Very, very good program, Jay. Oh my, I didn't see. I slept because there is one thing I don't compromise with. By 8:30 I am off.
Today you can see in the afternoon.
Acha, no second, third?
No.
Only first.
They got the 2 lakhs.
One first
all,
boy?
All 5 children, they got 2 lakhs.
That's nothing, ji. That's peanuts. These people made money through them. They should have given each one 2 crores, ji. 2 lakhs is peanuts. Cha-cha. That's not a good piece of news. Okay. Nirvasana. That is called spurti. There was one Punjabi boy, ji. He didn't come. He didn't win any second. He became second?
No, all 3 are second.
All the 3 are seconds, okay. He was full of spurti. I wanted to quote him. I wanted to quote him to explain what is spurti. full of life, ji. And that person, spurti here, that is in empirically that is spurti, agility, physical agility, mental agility, that is spurti. But here in the context, spurti means pure awareness. Because all prana shakti presupposes chit shakti, chit presence. The presence of the truth is there behind physical agility, mental agility. Without there being consciousness, there cannot be any agility. There is no spurti. Na kinchiditi shamyati. And this state of freedom from the universe, freedom from vasana, is not na kinchid. It's not an object. This universe is not an object, it's nothing. And truth also is not a thing. This is nothing. Truth is not a thing, not a thing. See, both of them are nakinchit. But the meaning I am given differently, ji, you have to follow. This is nothing, nothing great about it. And the truth, not a thing, na kinchit. ये कोई चीज नहीं है. न किंचिदिति शाम्यति. He becomes peaceful. The creation is not a wonder and truth is not an object. Aisa samjhe. And therefore, if the universe is not a wonder, I have no cravings for it. Truth is not an object, therefore I don't have to objectify it. I can only be. No craving, no objectification. Truth is not available for objectification. The universe is not available for desires. It's nothing. I can also explain it differently. I can read a little. And we say the universe, quickly I'll finish it. The universe is not nakinchit. It's not a thing. It's only a perception. In that sense. The universe is not a thing, it is a perception. And the truth is nothing, means not a thing, it's not an object to be objectified. The world is not a wondrous object, it is just a perception. Like dream is not a wondrous thing, it is just a perception. Truth is not a fact. Clear? Okay, ji. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.